Right, guys, I'm sorry, welcome back to the channel. We're here again. Another manager gone at Chelsea Football Club, and this time it's Liam Rosenior sacked. And honestly, I don't think no one's shocked today. The bigger question is, though, was this appointment ever going to work, or was this just another example of a club making decisions like it's a business, not a football club, and it looks good on paper, but they completely ignore the actual reality and the actual football team? But because I got to tell you, this appointment was bizarre from start to finish. It didn't just go wrong, it unravelled fast. And as Liam would like to say, it aged badly. But let's get into it. And first and foremost, we get the context. Let's look at the appointment. So you rewind. Liam Rosenior walked into Chelsea Football Club. The narrative was clear. He was young, he was a progressive coach, a modern coach, plays the right way, all that good stuff. And look, there's decent coach in there, I think. His reputation as a coach is very, very good. I think you've seen flashes at it from his time at Hull. But here's the problem. Chelsea's not a development project. It's not a place where you get to learn on the job because they get rid of managers so quickly. This is expectation, there's pressure, and there's a boatload of chaos. With you have to win now at Chelsea. You have to win football matches, and that's where I think this was a bit mismatched, because Rosenior's profile, it was a long-term profile. It's a long-term project, and Chelsea just isn't that. They don't do long term. They haven't ever done long term, certainly in the modern era. They say they do, but they never do. They gave him a long one. What was it, a 6-year contract, 6.5-year contract? He was gone in 4 months. They regularly sack managers after 6 months. So let's look at where it all went wrong, because I think you have to be brutally honest. This was not bad luck. This went wrong for 3 major reasons, really. They've got a squad imbalance, for sure. Chelsea's squad is an absolute mess. They've got too many young players, no real spine, no real leaders, and constant rotation causes chaos with rumours that Todd Bowley picks the team. You've got talent in there, for sure. You've got a lot of talent in there, I think, but there's no structure, there's no leadership. And asking a young manager like Liam Rosenior to go in there when realistically you've probably got 2, maybe 3 like top tier players in Cole Palmer, Caicedo and Reece James when he's fit. The rest can be good, can be bad, depending on any given day, but he was set up to fail, for sure. He was 100% set up to fail. Then you've got identity versus the reality of it. Rosenior wants a controlled build-up, he wants positional play, he wants tactical discipline. But what he gets is inconsistency. What he gets is individuals. What he gets is players still learning in some cases. And what he gets is players who think they're better than what they are. You cannot play elite professional football with a squad that doesn't fully understand it or want to understand it. And I think that's the big thing. So what you see a slow, confused build-up. You see defensive vulnerabilities. You see absolute lack of cutting edge. And you look like a team of individuals without any ideas or stuck between ideas. Then you've got that pressure cooker environment. Now this is a big one. Chelsea Football Club, you don't get time, you don't get patience, and you don't get results. You don't get time once those results dip, and the noise just gets louder. Now in Liam Rosenior's case, the noise was loud on day one because many people felt that he wasn't the right man for the job, nor was he qualified to get a job. So when you have that noise on day one, it becomes very, very difficult to win people over. You immediately had frustrated fans, you had media circling, you had the ownership getting restless early doors, and suddenly you're done 4 months in. Now, the bigger Chelsea problem is easy to look at and interesting, because this isn't just about Rosenior. He's just the fall guy for the latest failing of Blueco and Chelsea ownership. It is about Chelsea, and right now they have a serious identity crisis. What are they actually trying to be? Are they trying to be a team that's based around young players? Are they trying to be a Champions League and Premier League title contender? Are they trying to be a data-driven club like a Brighton or a Brentford? They don't know what they are, but Right now, it just feels like they try to be all of those things and fail at all of those things at the same time. They have spent a astronomical amount of money, over £1 billion, but they still have no clear tactical identity. They have no consistent recruitment profile. They have no stability in their management, and they have no real world-class players. And the killer is, because no manager, right? Rosenior, Thomas Tuchel, Jose Mourinho himself, whoever, not even Pep, are getting anything out of this team or this club the way it's set up now. This isn't an environment that is set up to succeed in the long term. Now, this summer is massive, and this summer is everything. Now, Chelsea have to get this next appointment right. Of course they do. They can't have an experimental appointment. They can't have a project without a structure. Because if they get it wrong again, they're going to waste another year, another season. And here's the complication. The World Cup in the summer. Chelsea going to go after elite managers like Thomas Tuchel, say, again, or Julian Nagelsmann. Both are heavily interlinked with international teams. Those teams are hotly tipped to go far in the competition. So what happens if those teams do go deep? You've got big problems if you want to appoint them. You're going to have a delayed appointment to start with. You're going to have a disrupted pre-season, disrupted transfer window, no clear tactical plan or work before the season starts. Players return in different times. We've seen it all before. You lose the pre-season, you lose the first couple of months of the season, and before you know it, you're writing off that season and, we're building for next year. So Chelsea have got a decision to make. Do they wait for the perfect name? Do they try and get someone in early and build properly? Because you can't have both. Now, what Chelsea should do, in my opinion, is relatively simple, I think. They need a clear identity. They need a manager that fits. They need patience, like actual patience, for someone to build a balanced squad. But the manager's got to build that squad, not venture capitalists who run the football club and are running this football club like a business rather than a football team. They need not just empty words, whether that's an experienced elite coach, a long-term builder, or a young tactical genius. Whatever it may be, they need to find the right man for the club. They need to commit to it, because right now they're stuck in between all of these things and it's going wrong in a vast way. Then you have to get rid of the bad eggs in the dressing room. We all know they've got a couple at least. You've got to get rid of the players who are not committed to the club. You've got to get rid of the players who are simply not good enough, and there is a lot of those as well. Chelsea Football Club, for so long, they used to buy top tier talent, world class talent, aged between say 27 and 32, that was at the top of their game, at their peak, whether it was a Gianfranco Zola, a Gianluca Vialli, a Drogba, even recently, the Brazilian defender whose name completely escapes me now, Thiago Silva. Like, there's so many that they've bought, and you think, oof, end of his career there for the money, and then they get something out of him. Their squad is full of kids, and not good kids. Like, there's a couple in there who've got real bad attitudes, and they're nowhere near good enough for Chelsea. There's a real chance that Chelsea finish this season outside of the European places. There's a real chance they lose to Leeds in the cup semi-final at the weekend. Liam Rosenior is gone. And maybe in a different environment he succeeds. I don't think so. I don't think he's at that level at the moment. But for Chelsea, it always felt like, I don't even think it was a gamble. It was just a poor decision because he was already under their ownership and the Blue Coat umbrella. But it's a gamble that's blown up in their face. And now the real question is, have they learned anything from it? Or are we going to be sat here in a few months' time talking about the same things over and over again? Listen, as a neutral, I find it comical. But I do have some Chelsea fans in my life and some friends. And I do feel for them because it's been embarrassing for them this season. At one point this season, before Rosenior came in, there was talk that they might be the title challengers for Arsenal. How quickly did that fall away? And unfortunately, in the world of football, there's too many owners who run their clubs like they run their businesses, instead of understanding that football is a whole different kettle of fish, and it is nothing like any other business on the planet. But we shall see. Liam Rosenior has been sacked. It's another manager gone. Which manager's next? Let me know in the comments. Which manager do you think is going next? Do you think Liam Rosenior was ever going to be good enough for Chelsea? And where do you think he goes next? And what do you think Chelsea's biggest problem is? Because for me, one of their biggest issues is the amount of debt that they've got now is completely unmanageable. Seen some incredible stats over the last couple of days. If you'd like me to have a little dive into that and see quite how bad their finances are, I'm sure they'll still spend money in the summer. Every loophole under the sun they seem to find. But there we go. Anyway, I've been Si. This is my personal channel. We talk football and a bit of everything, whatever we want to talk about. Come join the community. Come get involved. Come say hello. And we'll see you in the next one. Nice one.